For centuries, the legend of Atlantis has captured our imaginations, inspiring countless stories, movies, and even scientific expeditions. But what if I told you that this ancient tale might be more than just a myth? What if there's real evidence, or at least compelling theories, that suggest Atlantis could have been a real place? Today, we're diving into the deep waters of history to explore 20 unbelievable theories about Atlantis that might actually be true. From ancient maps and advanced technologies to connections with lost civilizations and natural disasters, these ideas will challenge everything you thought you knew about this legendary city. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, one thing's for sure: by the end of this video, you'll see Atlantis in a whole new light. So, are you ready to uncover the secrets of one of history's greatest mysteries? Let's begin. What if the story of Atlantis isn't just a myth, but a glimpse into a civilization so advanced it could rival our modern world? The first theory we're diving into suggests exactly that: Atlantis as a lost, highly sophisticated society with technology far ahead of its time. Ancient texts like Plato's dialogues describe Atlantis as a thriving metropolis with incredible engineering feats, from massive canals to grand temples. But what's even more intriguing is how modern discoveries seem to echo these descriptions. Underwater ruins, like those near the Azores or Santorini, show signs of advanced construction techniques that don't align with what we know about ancient societies. Could these be remnants of Atlantis, or at least a civilization that inspired the legend? This theory doesn't just challenge our understanding of history, it forces us to rethink the entire timeline of human progress. If Atlantis truly existed, it would mean that advanced societies flourished long before we thought possible. Some researchers even speculate that their technology might have been powered by energy sources we're only now rediscovering, like geothermal or even electromagnetic forces. While skeptics argue that Atlantis is purely allegorical, the evidence, both ancient and modern, keeps the debate alive and fascinating. This idea doesn't just shake up our view of the past, it also raises questions about how much we've forgotten over time. Could there have been a golden age of knowledge and innovation that was lost to history? As we explore this theory, it's impossible not to wonder: if Atlantis was real, where exactly was it located? That question leads us seamlessly into our next theory, which examines the potential geographical clues that might finally pinpoint the lost city. One of the most compelling theories places Atlantis not in the Atlantic Ocean but right in the heart of the Mediterranean, specifically near the volcanic island of Santorini. Known in ancient times as Thera, this island was the site of one of the most catastrophic volcanic eruptions in human history, around 1600 BCE. The sheer scale of the eruption was staggering, with ash clouds reaching miles into the sky and tsunamis that devastated coastal settlements across the Mediterranean. Could this disaster have inspired Plato's tale of a great civilization suddenly swallowed by the sea? Geological evidence paints a vivid picture. The eruption of Thera buried the Minoan settlement of Akrotiri under layers of ash, preserving it much like Pompeii. Archaeologists have unearthed advanced infrastructure, intricate frescoes, and evidence of a sophisticated society, elements that align strikingly with Plato's description of Atlantis. The timing of the eruption also coincides with a period of significant cultural disruption in the region, possibly giving rise to legends of a lost civilization. Adding to the intrigue, Plato's description of Atlantis mentions a circular city with concentric rings of water and land, a design that some scholars argue resembles the geological formation of Thera before the eruption. The idea of Atlantis as a Mediterranean powerhouse fits neatly into the historical context of the Minoans, who dominated sea trade and cultural exchange in the region. Yet, while the Mediterranean theory offers a plausible explanation, it also opens the door to a broader question. Could the legend of Atlantis have been influenced by multiple catastrophic events across the globe? After all, tales of great floods and lost civilizations appear in myths and traditions from nearly every corner of the world. This concept of Atlantis as a global phenomenon invites us to explore even more fascinating possibilities, moving beyond a single location to consider how shared human experiences might have shaped this enduring mystery. What if the legendary lost city of Atlantis wasn't in the Mediterranean or the Atlantic Ocean as many have speculated, but instead hidden beneath the turquoise waters of the Caribbean? This intriguing theory suggests that the Bahamas, with its mysterious underwater formations like the Bimini Road, could be the key to unlocking the secrets of Atlantis. The Bimini Road, discovered in the late 1960s, is a series of large, rectangular limestone blocks that stretch for nearly half a mile off the coast of Bimini Island. To some, these blocks appear to be too perfectly aligned to be a natural formation, sparking claims that they could be the remains of an ancient paved road or even a harbor structure built by an advanced civilization. Supporters of this theory point to the Caribbean's rich history of pre-Columbian cultures like the Taino and the Maya, who were skilled seafarers and builders. Could these ancient peoples have inherited knowledge or technology from an even older society, Atlantis? Some researchers propose that the Caribbean's geological history, including rising sea levels at the end of the last ice age, could have submerged a once thriving civilization, leaving behind only fragments of its existence. This theory also opens up broader discussions about the interconnectedness of ancient cultures. If Atlantis was indeed located in the Caribbean, it could explain why similar architectural styles, myths, and maritime technologies appear in distant parts of the world. Could ancient seafarers from Atlantis have traveled across the oceans, sharing their knowledge with other civilizations? While this idea is speculative, it highlights the fascinating possibility of a global network of ancient cultures linked by a shared origin. Of course, skeptics argue that the Bimini Road could be a natural geological formation, and the lack of definitive evidence makes it difficult to confirm the Atlantis connection. Yet, the mystery of the Caribbean's underwater structures continues to captivate explorers and researchers alike, keeping the theory alive. As we ponder the Caribbean's potential ties to Atlantis, it's worth considering another possibility. What if Atlantis wasn't just a city, but an entire continent? This idea shifts the focus from specific locations to a much larger scale, suggesting that the lost civilization may have been far grander than we've imagined. What if Atlantis wasn't just a city or an island, but an entire continent swallowed by the sea? This theory suggests that Atlantis was a vast landmass, perhaps even a supercontinent, that vanished beneath the waves due to some cataclysmic event. It's a bold idea, but when we look at other legendary lost continents like Lemuria or Mu, the concept of ancient lands disappearing into the ocean doesn't seem so far-fetched. These stories often echo similar themes: advanced civilizations, sudden disasters, and the sea claiming everything in its path. Geologically, there's some intriguing evidence to consider. Plate tectonics show that Earth's landmasses have shifted dramatically over millions of years. Could Atlantis have been part of this process? Some researchers point to underwater formations, like the submerged landmass near the Azores, as potential remnants of a lost continent. Ancient myths from cultures around the world also describe lands that sank beneath the sea, often tied to divine punishment or natural disasters. The Greek philosopher Plato, who first wrote about Atlantis, described it as a massive island, larger than Libya and Asia combined, which aligns with this continental theory. But what's truly fascinating is the cultural influence Atlantis might have had, even if it disappeared. Could its legacy have shaped other civilizations? Many ancient cultures share stories of great floods and lost lands, leading some to wonder if these tales are distant memories of a real place. As we move to the next theory, we'll explore how Atlantis' supposed connection to other ancient societies continues to spark curiosity and debate. How much of our history might be tied to this enigmatic civilization? The mystery only deepens. Have you ever wondered why so many ancient cultures share eerily similar stories of floods, gods, and lost civilizations? One compelling theory suggests that these myths might all trace back to a single source, Atlantis. From the Greek Titans to the Mayan gods, legends of powerful beings and catastrophic floods appear in traditions across the globe. What if these stories aren't just coincidental but are fragments of a shared memory? Take the flood myths, for example. The biblical story of Noah's Ark, the Sumerian tale of Utnapishtim, and the Hindu legend of Manu all describe a great deluge that reshapes the world. Even in the Americas, the Mayans have their own version where the gods send a flood to cleanse the earth. These stories share striking parallels, not just in the event itself, but in the idea of a surviving remnant, a chosen few who escape to rebuild. Could these narratives be echoes of a real event, like the sinking of Atlantis? Then there's the recurring theme of advanced beings. The Greek Titans were said to possess immense power and knowledge, while the Mayan gods were credited with teaching humanity agriculture, architecture, and astronomy. If Atlantis was a technologically advanced civilization, as many theories suggest, it's not hard to imagine how its survivors might have been seen as godlike figures by less advanced societies. Their knowledge could have sparked myths of divine intervention, weaving Atlantis into the fabric of cultural lore. This theory doesn't just connect the dots between ancient myths, it also raises a fascinating question. If Atlantis was the source of these stories, what else might it have contributed to our collective past? Some believe its advanced knowledge could have been the catalyst for humanity's leap forward in science, art, and philosophy. And that idea leads us to the next theory, Atlantis as a hub of lost wisdom, a civilization so advanced its secrets still elude us today. Could the legendary city of Atlantis have been more than just a hub of advanced human civilization? What if its people had connections far beyond our planet? This brings us to Theory 6, which links Atlantis to the ancient astronaut hypothesis. According to this intriguing idea, Atlanteans weren't just technologically ahead of their time, they may have been aided by extraterrestrial beings. Proponents of this theory point to the extraordinary feats often attributed to Atlantis, advanced engineering, energy systems, and knowledge that seems to defy the technological capabilities of the ancient world. Could these achievements have been the result of contact with beings from another world? The ancient astronaut hypothesis isn't new, it's been popularized by figures like Erich von Däniken, who suggests that many ancient civilizations received help from extraterrestrial visitors. When applied to Atlantis, the theory takes on a unique twist. Some believe that the Atlanteans' downfall wasn't just due to natural disasters or war, but rather a withdrawal of this extraterrestrial support. Imagine a society that thrived on alien technology suddenly left to fend for itself. Could this explain why Atlantis vanished so mysteriously? But there's another layer to this theory that ties into the spiritual legacy of Atlantis. Beyond their technological prowess, Atlanteans are often described as deeply spiritual beings, with some claiming they had access to universal wisdom or cosmic knowledge. This has led to speculation that Atlantis wasn't just a physical place, but a center for spiritual enlightenment, perhaps even a bridge between Earth and otherworldly realms. Whether you believe in ancient astronauts or not, the idea of Atlantis as a spiritual powerhouse adds a fascinating dimension to its story. And speaking of its legacy, let's shift our focus to the next theory, which explores how the lessons and beliefs of Atlantis may have influenced future civilizations. But what if Atlantis wasn't just a physical place, but something far more profound? The theory that Atlantis served as a spiritual hub has captivated thinkers for centuries. Some believe it was a center of enlightenment, a place where advanced esoteric knowledge was cultivated and shared. Proponents of this idea suggest that the Atlanteans possessed a deep understanding of the universe, harnessing not only scientific but also metaphysical wisdom. This spiritual Atlantis is often described as a society in harmony with nature, where individuals achieved higher states of consciousness and lived in alignment with universal truths. The influence of this theory extends far beyond ancient history. Modern spiritual movements and New Age beliefs have embraced the idea of Atlantis as a beacon of enlightenment. Many see it as a symbol of humanity's potential for spiritual growth, a reminder of a time when we were more connected to the cosmos and to each other. Books, workshops, and even meditation practices have been inspired by this vision of Atlantis, offering people a glimpse into what they believe was a golden age of wisdom and harmony. Yet, as with all great civilizations, the story of Atlantis doesn't end in prosperity. Whether it was a physical city or a spiritual haven, its downfall remains one of the most enduring mysteries. What could have caused such a powerful and enlightened society to vanish? This question leads us to the next theory, one that explores the dramatic and often debated events that might have led to Atlantis' demise. What forces, natural or otherwise, could have brought an end to this legendary civilization? The answers might be as fascinating as the mystery itself. One of the most enduring mysteries surrounding Atlantis is not just its existence, but its dramatic demise. Theories about the cataclysmic end of this legendary civilization range from natural disasters to acts of divine retribution, painting a vivid picture of a once thriving society brought to ruin. Among the most widely discussed explanations is the idea that Atlantis was destroyed by a series of devastating natural events. Massive floods, powerful earthquakes, and volcanic eruptions are often cited as the culprits, with some accounts suggesting that these disasters struck in rapid succession, overwhelming the island and its inhabitants. The concept of a great flood is particularly prominent, echoing similar stories found in myths and religious texts from around the world. It's theorized that rising sea levels or a sudden tsunami could have submerged the island, wiping it from the map in a matter of hours. Others point to volcanic activity, proposing that a massive eruption might have triggered tsunamis, earthquakes, and ash clouds, creating a perfect storm of destruction. But beyond the natural explanations, some ancient accounts hint at a more symbolic cause: divine punishment. Plato's dialogues suggest that Atlantis fell out of favor with the gods due to its moral decay and hubris, leading to its ultimate downfall. This idea of a civilization succumbing to its own flaws adds a layer of moral depth to the story, making it a cautionary tale as much as a mystery. As we ponder these theories, one question lingers: what happened to the people of Atlantis? Could some have escaped the devastation, carrying their knowledge and culture to other parts of the world? The possibility of survivors opens up a whole new chapter in the Atlantis saga, one that connects this lost civilization to the rise of other ancient cultures. What if the story of Atlantis didn't end with its disappearance beneath the waves? This brings us to the intriguing possibility that some Atlanteans survived the catastrophe, carrying fragments of their advanced knowledge with them as they scattered across the globe. It's a theory that suggests Atlantis' legacy didn't vanish. It was simply transplanted into the cultures of emerging civilizations. Think about the ancient Egyptians and Mesopotamians, two societies that seemed to burst onto the scene with remarkable advancements in architecture, mathematics, and astronomy. Could these achievements be evidence of Atlantean influence? Some researchers point to the similarities in pyramid building techniques or the shared myths of great floods and god-like beings as clues that these civilizations might have inherited knowledge from a common, possibly Atlantean source. The idea isn't just about the survival of people, it's about the survival of ideas. If Atlanteans did escape their sinking homeland, they might have sought refuge in regions that would later become cradles of human civilization. This could explain why certain technologies, artistic styles, or even spiritual beliefs appear to emerge suddenly and without clear antecedents in the archaeological record. It's as if these cultures received a spark of inspiration from an external source, a spark that could have come from the survivors of Atlantis. But this theory doesn't just connect the dots between ancient civilizations, it also raises questions about what else might have been preserved. Could the hidden legacy of Atlantis still be out there, waiting to be uncovered? This leads us to the next theory, which dives deeper into the idea of Atlantis's enduring influence and the clues it may have left behind in the modern world. One of the most fascinating theories about Atlantis suggests that its advanced knowledge was the key to constructing some of the world's most enigmatic structures, the pyramids of Egypt and other ancient monuments. Could it be that the techniques used to build these marvels were passed down from a lost civilization? Proponents of this idea point to the incredible precision of the pyramids, their alignment with celestial bodies, and the seemingly impossible engineering feats achieved thousands of years ago. How else, they argue, could ancient societies have achieved such mastery over stone and mathematics without some form of forgotten wisdom? Astronomical alignments are particularly striking. The Great Pyramid, for example, is positioned with an accuracy that mirrors the cardinal points of the compass, and its internal shafts align with specific stars. These features suggest a deep understanding of astronomy, one that some believe originated in Atlantis. The same precision is found in other ancient structures like Stonehenge and the temples of Mesoamerica, leading to the question, could these sites share a common source of knowledge? The idea of Atlantean influence doesn't stop at construction. Some theorists propose that the civilization's advancements extended far beyond architecture, hinting at technologies that seem almost modern. This leads us to the next theory, Atlantis's potential connection to innovations that shape our world today. Could the legacy of this ancient society still be felt in the technology we rely on now? One of the most fascinating theories about Atlantis suggests that its people might have mastered advanced energy sources far beyond what we've achieved today. Could the Atlanteans have tapped into crystal power or even free energy? This idea has captured the imagination of researchers and alternative energy enthusiasts for decades. Proponents of this theory point to ancient texts and legends that describe Atlanteans using glowing crystals to power their cities, heal the sick, and even control the weather. While there's no concrete evidence to prove this, the concept has inspired modern scientists to explore unconventional energy solutions, suggesting that there might be more to these ancient stories than mere myth. Could the secret to sustainable energy have been lost with Atlantis? Some believe that the island's alleged underwater ruins might still hold clues to these advanced technologies, waiting to be rediscovered. Speaking of underwater ruins, this leads us to the next intriguing possibility. One of the most compelling aspects of the Atlantis mystery is the discovery of underwater ruins scattered across the globe. Could these submerged structures be remnants of the lost civilization, or do they hint at something even more extraordinary? Take, for example, the enigmatic Yonaguni monument off the coast of Japan. This massive, terraced structure, with its sharp angles and flat surfaces, has sparked debates among researchers. While some argue it's a natural rock formation shaped by ocean currents, others point to its strikingly geometric design as evidence of human craftsmanship. If it were man-made, could it be a piece of Atlantis or a similar advanced civilization that vanished beneath the waves? Then there's the ancient city of Dwarka, submerged off the coast of India. According to Hindu texts, Dwarka was a thriving metropolis ruled by Lord Krishna, said to have been swallowed by the sea thousands of years ago. Archaeologists have uncovered artifacts and structures beneath the waves that align with these ancient accounts, fueling speculation about its connection to Atlantis. Could Dwarka have been part of a larger, interconnected network of advanced societies, with Atlantis being the most famous among them? The parallels between these underwater sites and the descriptions of Plato's lost city are impossible to ignore. These discoveries don't just challenge our understanding of history, they inspire us to rethink the possibilities of human ingenuity and endurance. The idea of a civilization capable of creating such monumental structures only to be lost to the depths of time is both humbling and awe-inspiring. And it's not just about the physical ruins. Atlantis has left an indelible mark on our collective imagination. From literature to film, the story of a lost, advanced society continues to captivate and inspire, shaping how we view our past and envision our future. As we ponder these underwater mysteries, one question lingers: what else might be hidden beneath the oceans, waiting to be discovered? The search for Atlantis is more than a quest for a lost city. It's a journey into the unknown, a reminder that history is far more complex and wondrous than we often realize. The legend of Atlantis has transcended its ancient origins, embedding itself deeply into the fabric of popular culture. From the earliest philosophical musings to modern cinematic masterpieces, this mythical civilization has inspired countless creative works. It all began with Plato's dialogues, where he first introduced Atlantis as a powerful, advanced society that ultimately fell out of favor with the gods. These writings didn't just spark curiosity, they laid the foundation for centuries of artistic interpretation. Fast forward to the 20th century, and Atlantis found its way into the realm of animation with Disney's beloved film Atlantis, The Lost Empire. This adventurous tale reimagined Atlantis as a thriving, technologically advanced city, blending ancient myth with futuristic elements. It's a perfect example of how the story evolves with each retelling, adapting to the tastes and imaginations of new generations. But it's not just in literature and film where Atlantis leaves its mark. Art, too, has been captivated by the mystery of this lost civilization. Paintings, sculptures, and even video games have drawn inspiration from the idea of a sunken utopia, often portraying it as a place of unparalleled beauty and innovation. This enduring fascination speaks to something universal: the human desire to uncover the unknown and imagine what could have been. As we've seen, Atlantis isn't just a story. It's a cultural phenomenon that continues to shape how we think about the past and the possibilities of the future. With all these creative interpretations, it's natural to wonder, could there be any scientific basis for Atlantis? While it's easy to dismiss it as pure myth, some intriguing theories suggest that Plato's tale might have been inspired by real events or places. Could Atlantis have existed as a physical location, or is it purely a product of imagination? Let's shift our focus to the scientific plausibility of this ancient legend and explore what modern research has to say about its potential origins. Modern science has long grappled with the enigma of Atlantis, blending skepticism with a tantalizing curiosity. While the legend has captured imaginations for centuries, researchers face significant challenges in proving its existence. The primary issue lies in the lack of concrete archaeological evidence. Despite advanced technologies like sonar mapping and satellite imagery, no definitive trace of a submerged civilization matching Plato's description has been found. This absence doesn't necessarily disprove Atlantis, but raises questions about where and how to look. Adding to the complexity is the role of pseudoscience in the debate. Over the years, countless theories have emerged, ranging from the plausible to the outlandish. Some claim Atlantis was an advanced civilization with technology beyond our current understanding, while others suggest it was destroyed by extraterrestrial intervention. These speculative ideas, while fascinating, often lack rigorous scientific backing, making it difficult to separate fact from fiction. Yet they keep the conversation alive, fueling the possibility that Atlantis or something like it could still be discovered. Interestingly, the scientific community hasn't entirely dismissed the idea. Some researchers propose that Atlantis might have been inspired by real ancient civilizations, such as the Minoans of Crete or the victims of the Thera eruption. These events, which occurred around 3,600 years ago, align with some details of Plato's account, offering a potential historical foundation for the myth. By examining these parallels, science bridges the gap between legend and reality, keeping the mystery of Atlantis alive in a way that's both credible and compelling. As we consider the scientific perspectives, it's worth wondering, could Atlantis still be out there waiting to be rediscovered? The possibility, though slim, continues to inspire exploration and debate, leading us to the next intriguing theory. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Atlantis mystery is how modern technology continues to fuel the search for this legendary civilization. With advancements in underwater archaeology and satellite imaging, explorers and researchers are now equipped with tools that Plato himself could never have imagined. Sonar technology, for instance, has allowed us to map the ocean floor with incredible precision, uncovering structures and anomalies that could hint at lost cities. Satellite imagery, too, has revealed submerged patterns and geometric shapes in places like the Mediterranean and the Caribbean, sparking renewed interest in potential locations for Atlantis. But it's not just about finding physical evidence. The search for Atlantis has become a symbol of humanity's enduring curiosity and our relentless drive to uncover the past. It's a reminder that even the most enigmatic myths can inspire real-world exploration and scientific inquiry. And while the physical remains of Atlantis remain elusive, some believe its true significance lies beyond the material. Could Atlantis be more than just a lost city? Could it represent something deeper, a metaphor for societal collapse, a cautionary tale, or even a vision of a utopian society that's yet to be realized? As we ponder these questions, the hunt for Atlantis continues to evolve, blending cutting-edge technology with timeless wonder. And this blend of the tangible and the symbolic leads us to the next intriguing theory, one that explores Atlantis not as a place, but as an idea that has shaped cultures and philosophies for millennia. What if Atlantis wasn't just a physical place, but a metaphor for something far more profound? A warning about the consequences of human hubris. This theory suggests that the story of Atlantis, as told by Plato, is less about a lost city and more about the dangers of arrogance and excess. Imagine a society that believed itself invincible, a civilization so powerful and technologically advanced that it thought it could conquer nature itself. Sound familiar? This interpretation paints Atlantis as a cautionary tale, one that highlights how pride and overreach can lead to downfall. Modern parallels are startlingly clear. Think about how today's societies push the limits of technology, exploit natural resources, and often act as if there are no consequences. Whether it's climate change, overconsumption, or the relentless pursuit of power, the story of Atlantis feels eerily relevant. It's a reminder that no matter how advanced we become, unchecked ambition can still lead to disaster. This perspective transforms Atlantis from a mythic mystery into a timeless lesson about humility and balance. But the idea of Atlantis as a symbol doesn't exist in isolation. It connects to a broader tapestry of lost civilizations, each one seemingly vanishing after reaching the height of its power. Could there be a pattern here? From the fall of the Maya to the decline of the Roman Empire, history is filled with examples of societies that rose to greatness only to crumble under their own weight. As we explore this theory further, it's worth considering how Atlantis might fit into this larger narrative of human history and its recurring themes. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Atlantis mystery is how it intertwines with other legendary lost civilizations. Have you ever wondered if Atlantis was truly alone, or if it was part of a network of advanced societies that vanished without a trace? Enter Lemuria and Mu, two other enigmatic civilizations often mentioned in the same breath as Atlantis. Lemuria, said to have existed in the Indian or Pacific Ocean, is often depicted as a land of spiritual enlightenment and advanced technology. Similarly, Mu, believed to have been located in the Pacific, is described as a vast continent that met a catastrophic end, much like Atlantis. What's intriguing is how these stories seem to echo one another. Many theorists suggest that these civilizations might not have existed in isolation, but could have been part of a larger, interconnected world. Some even propose that they shared knowledge, cultures, or even faced similar fates due to natural disasters or cosmic events. Is it possible that these legends are fragments of a shared ancient memory, passed down through generations and cultures across the globe? The parallels are certainly hard to ignore. The idea that Atlantis, Lemuria, and Mu might be connected adds a new layer to the mystery. Could they represent different interpretations of the same event or civilization? Or were they distinct yet linked societies that thrived in a pre-cataclysmic world? These questions keep researchers and enthusiasts digging deeper, searching for clues that might one day reveal the truth. And who knows, perhaps the rediscovery of Atlantis could be the key to unlocking the secrets of these other lost worlds, bringing us closer to understanding humanity's forgotten past. As we continue to explore these possibilities, it's worth considering what the future might hold. Could advancements in technology and archaeology one day lead us to the remnants of Atlantis or its counterparts? The idea that these legendary civilizations might still lie hidden, waiting to be uncovered, is an exciting thought, and one that keeps the search alive. As we inch closer to the present day, the search for Atlantis has entered an exciting new era, fueled by cutting-edge technology and groundbreaking archaeological methods. From advanced sonar systems that map the ocean floor in unprecedented detail to satellite imagery that reveals hidden structures beneath the Earth's surface, the tools at our disposal are more powerful than ever. These innovations have opened up possibilities that would have been unimaginable just a few decades ago. Imagine, for example, the discovery of an ancient underwater city, its streets and buildings preserved by the ocean's depths. Could this be the proof we've been waiting for? But it's not just about finding physical evidence. The rediscovery of Atlantis, if it were to happen, could reshape our understanding of human history. What if the story of Atlantis isn't just a myth, but a fragmented memory of a real civilization that influenced cultures around the world? The implications would be staggering, forcing us to reconsider everything we know about ancient societies, their technological capabilities, and their interconnectedness. This isn't just about solving a mystery, it's about rewriting the narrative of our past. Yet, even with all these advancements, Atlantis remains elusive, its story continuing to captivate us. Perhaps that's part of its enduring appeal. The mystery itself keeps us searching, questioning, and imagining what might lie beneath the waves or buried in the sands of time. And as we turn to the next theory, we're reminded that sometimes the journey of discovery is just as fascinating as the destination. What is it about the story of Atlantis that has gripped our imaginations for centuries? Why does this lost civilization continue to spark curiosity, inspire countless books, films, and theories, and even shape how we think about history and the unknown? The answer lies in something deeply human: our innate desire for mystery and discovery. Atlantis isn't just a legend, it's a symbol of the unknown, a blank canvas onto which we project our questions, fears, and dreams. It represents the possibility that there's more to our world and our past than we've been able to uncover. This thirst for discovery is universal. From ancient explorers setting sail into uncharted waters to modern scientists probing the depths of the ocean, we're driven by the same impulse, the need to explore, to understand, and to connect with what lies beyond our grasp. Atlantis as a concept taps into this primal urge. It's a mystery that feels just within reach, yet always eludes us, keeping us endlessly intrigued. But there's another layer to our fascination. Stories like Atlantis give us a sense of continuity, a link to a past that might have been grander, more advanced, or even more tragic than our own. They remind us that civilizations rise and fall, and that we too are part of a larger, ongoing story. The idea of Atlantis challenges us to think about what could be lost to time and what secrets might still be waiting to be uncovered. And as we ponder these questions, we're drawn to the possibility that Atlantis isn't just a myth. It could be a reflection of truths buried deep within our collective memory. What if the legend is rooted in real events, real places, or real people? What if Atlantis isn't just a story, but a clue waiting to be deciphered? This tantalizing possibility keeps us coming back, eager to explore the next theory, the next piece of the puzzle. So, after exploring a fascinating array of theories about Atlantis, which ones stand out as the most plausible? Let's revisit the ideas that have captured the imagination of historians, archaeologists, and enthusiasts alike. One of the more compelling theories suggests Atlantis could have been a highly advanced civilization lost to a catastrophic natural disaster, like the eruption of Thera in the Aegean Sea. The archaeological evidence of ancient cities buried under volcanic ash and the cultural similarities between Plato's descriptions and the Minoan civilization make this a strong contender. Another intriguing possibility is that Atlantis was a metaphorical allegory created by Plato to illustrate philosophical ideas rather than a real place. This theory emphasizes that Plato often used stories as teaching tools, and Atlantis could have been a cautionary tale about the dangers of hubris and the fall of great empires. While it lacks physical evidence, it remains a thought-provoking perspective. Let's not forget the hypothesis linking Atlantis to the Richat structure in the Sahara Desert, sometimes called the Eye of Africa. Its circular design and location match some of Plato's descriptions, and while geological studies suggest it's a natural formation, the idea continues to spark debate and curiosity. Then there's the notion that Atlantis was part of a global network of ancient civilizations, sharing advanced knowledge and technology. Proponents of this theory point to similarities in myths, architecture, and artifacts across cultures, suggesting a lost connection between distant peoples. So, what's the truth? The beauty of Atlantis lies in its mystery. Each theory offers a unique lens through which to view this ancient legend, and perhaps the answer isn't about proving one idea right, but appreciating the enduring questions it raises. Why does Atlantis captivate us so deeply? Maybe it's the allure of a lost world, the possibility of forgotten wisdom, or simply the human desire to uncover the unknown. As we wrap up this exploration, take a moment to reflect on which theory resonates with you, because in the end, the story of Atlantis is as much about our curiosity as it is about history.